feel like New York City lights up in a special way for the New York City Marathon. You're giving high fives to kids, to adults that you may give you like a little stink eye on an everyday basis, but you're watching these people actually celebrate your potential victory out there in the course. Even if you fall short and you're like, I only made it to mile 16. The idea that you were daring enough to actually step on that line and do that for that day is something to be celebrated. New York City Marathon is home. I go on this course, I'm having a great morning. I hit between mile 21 and 22 is Marcus Garvey Park, and I make this turn. And this guy, and he said, it's gonna take your fat ass forever. I was like, what did he just say? Like, like when you hear something like that, I was like, maybe he's talking about somebody else. As a person that's in the back of the pack, it's only a handful of you at one given time. So I was like, I'm the only fat person out here that he must be referring to. So I had screamed back at him. I said, what did you say? And he said, it's going to take your fat ass forever. And then he just started running off at the mouth. Why don't you stop eating, fatty? Oh, this is not a walking course. So as the New Yorker that I am, I cursed him back out. And it took for two other runners who saw what was going on and they're like, ma'am, it's not worth it. Just continue your race. You're so close to the finish line. But when someone says that, something like that to you, they're already in your head. You may have let it go verbally. You may have let it go physically, but there's a weight that exists in your brain of great. I can't even have peace at a marathon, a place to where I'm being celebrated on the course, a place that I consider home, and I have to be reminded of my weight. The last 4 miles of the course, I carried that with me. I already am the biggest heckler that I've ever met, even to this day. Anytime I look in the mirror, I can tell myself 10 really terrible things about myself. I don't need this from someone else. Running is the thing that takes me out of my head and reminds me that regardless of how much it sucks out there on that course, regardless of how much I am struggling, I'm reminded of how powerful I am. And no words, no actions, no catcall, no harassment in the world can take away that power when I'm out there running, regardless of my pace.